What's up, drainers? It's Blade time. Alright, so the main thing I wanted to do for this video was to do a review of Bladee. Now, Bladee, throughout his entire discography, kind of has this icy, cold sound. So basically, it wasn't a matter of if I was going to do Bladee, but what album of Blade's I wanted to do. So originally, I wanted to go with Ever Since, because that's my favorite Bladee album. However, I'm going to go with Icedancer because it literally has ice in the title, so it's kind of hard not to go with it. Also, I believe Icedancer is the best Bladee album to get introduced to Drain Gang with, so that's why we're going to go with Icedancer over Ever Since and all the other projects. Okay, so this is Blade's 2018 mixtape. However, it released literally at the very end of 2018, so I'm going to count it as a 2019 project because it was literally at the very fucking end of the year. Anyways, this album carries over the cloud rap sound Bladee was known for, but kind of adds more of a trap influence into the production. Also, more of a focus on shorter song lengths and melodies. Now, the big thing about Bladee is the auto-tune, mainly just because I feel like the auto-tune either makes or breaks Bladee for you. Now, me personally, I feel like the auto-tune really fits Blade's sound, especially for this more icy, kind of dreamlike atmosphere that he goes on in many of his songs. Now, one warning I will give with this album is that if you're an old school rap elitist, an old head, per se, stay the hell away from this album. You are going to fucking despise this thing. It's not for you guys, I'm sorry. But if you're more into this, like, more modern hip-hop sound and really want to see it pushed to the edge in terms of production, vocals, all that good shit, you guys gotta definitely check out Bladee. Okay, so let's just talk about the sound of Bladee and this album as a whole. So Bladee is primarily cloud rap. He's always been a part of cloud rap ever since his inception. So each Bladee album is cloud rap, but in a slightly different direction of cloud rap. Ever Since dives more into emo rap. You have Glue that dives more into a bit more of an ambient direction in some areas. Then you have this album that dives more into a pop/trap direction, as I mentioned before. So as for the lyric side of this album, it kind of stays in the emo rap lane. There's a lot of really depressing lyrics on this album. However, Ever Since is a lot more upfront with how depressing it is. This album definitely has those moments, but it's a little more subtle overall. And it just has more, like, silly lyrics thrown in there. Like, there's definitely a bit of humor thrown into this project, whereas Ever Since just always dived into depressing shit every time it could. This album has the depressing shit, but it's a little more funny on the side. It's a little goofy. So basically, you have this sense of isolation and loneliness in terms of the vocals and lyrics. However, the production is a lot more dreamy and upbeat, so it's kind of like the sad emo rap with more of a fun, upbeat pop side to kind of push it along. The album is able to have some of the most catchy and just beautiful, like, beats I've ever heard, honestly, and just incredibly catchy melodies, yet is also able to have this underlying sadness underneath all of it. It's actually some pretty epic stuff. Now, these are aspects that I can definitely give to a bunch of other cloud rap and trap artists of this time and even today, especially Young Lean. However, I think Bladee actually gives a bit of his own flavor to it with the autotune, actually. In fact, I've never really seen a rapper use autotune to this degree as Bladee does. To me, the best way to describe Bladee is a colorful darkness. It has this dark, depressing undertones, but on the surface, it's really fun, colorful bangers, essentially. And I feel like this album really shows that off, because the songs on here are just really fantastic overall. In fact, to me, this is the best Bladee album to get you into Bladee. Maybe it's not my favorite project of his, but the amount of bangers and the amount of iconic Bladee songs on here is pretty damn impressive. To be honest, this album almost feels like a Bladee greatest hits in a weird way. As many songs that made Bladee popular or got people into Bladee show up on this project. Whenever I get in the mood to bump some Bladee, this album is definitely my go-to. Even if it isn't my favorite Bladee project, it's probably my favorite one to listen to, if that makes any sense. Mainly just because there's so many great songs I could pull out of this thing. Overall, this is a cloud rap classic. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 4.5 on this thing. When this video is uploaded, I'll decide between those two scores. Currently I have it as a 4, but it's going to be a 4.5. Overall, really serene, beautiful production, great performances by Bladee, super catchy, super iconic, tons of really sad bars, tons of really funny bars. It's all around a super entertaining project. Like, it's almost all killer, no filler. Oh, and finally, I want to connect this album to the whole winter theme we have here. Now, I'll admit, most of it is kind of for the title, but there is a general sound here. Bladee, well, not just Bladee, but cloud rap in general has this very isolating, kind of cold sound, especially with the synths it often uses and the auto-tune and all that other stuff. Reverb as well. And it definitely fits this kind of winter vibe, and to me this album sounds really good when you're just outside on a cold winter day. If Ever Since is an isolating, depressing winter, then Icedancer is a pretty epic, fun winter, but you're still sad on the inside. Okay, I just realized I was rambling about Bladee for 7 minutes. I'm really scared about how long this video is going to be. Anyways, my favorite songs include Be Nice to Me, Top Man, Mall Whore Freestyle, LinkedIn, Waster, Frosty the Snowman, which might be my favorite song, Smart Water, and Jaws. But let's be real here, it could possibly just be the entire track list. Anyways, Drain Gang. Hell yeah.